Hello everyone, I'm Joseph Giunta, the music director and conductor of the Des Moines Symphony, and welcome to the Listening Room. This is always an incredibly exciting time of the year for us at the Symphony, anticipating the start of a new season and all the wonderful music it will bring, performed by your award-winning Des Moines Symphony, is always a reason to anticipate and celebrate. This year's Symphonic Spectrum concert season, the orchestra's 88th season, is filled with great music, some familiar and some new, but always with a lot of variety in our programming. But all of this music is great in its own way, and the gala opening weekend is quickly upon us and features just that. Our season debut is on Saturday, September 27th at 7:30 p.m. and Sunday, September 28th at 2:30 p.m. in the Civic Center. We begin with the wonderful Russian composer Dmitri Shostakovich's 1954 Festival Overture. This is a quick and lively and virtuosic piece that the orchestra will wow you with, and it's a great way to open a season and open any concert program that you might go to. That will be followed by an incredibly eclectic group from Chicago that I'm very fond of and have known for a long time, Eighth Blackbird. Now they're going to make their debut with us, performing a piece that was written just for them several years ago by the Vietnam American composer Viet CUONG, and it's called Vital Signs. Now this piece is dedicated to Viet's father's memory, and he describes him as the guardian of his musical life. He was always supportive and encouraging of the young Viet when he was growing up in Marietta, Georgia. Now the creation of this piece found solace for Viet during the last days of his father's life, and the unusual combination of Eighth Blackbird's instruments, which includes flute and clarinet, piano, percussion, violin, and cello, it provides a wealth of colors and blends that encompass a full palette of sound, which is very unique to Viet's creative composing style. This is a piece that's rhythmically active and incredibly difficult for all of us, and it's a piece that you will not want to miss hearing. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, I think. And finally, one of the great pieces of all time, Tchaikovsky's most popular symphony and the melodic Fifth Symphony. This piece was composed in 4 months in 1888, and it was an immediate success with the public and remains so today. It's the quintessential triumph over adversity theme that Beethoven created in his Fifth Symphony. The first movement begins with a really slow and brooding introduction that's leads us through by the clarinet playing a very dark fate motif that's used throughout the piece. This leads to a really slow march in 6/8 that kind of resembles ballet music at its finest. Tchaikovsky was one of those composers that just about every note he wrote, he felt like ballet music, like dance music. And of course, it's no secret that the piece that he loved the most was Sleeping Beauty. It's kind of like Mozart, that every piece he wrote, every note he wrote was meant to be sung. Now, the slow movement of the Tchaikovsky Fifth is one of the most outstanding examples of the ultimate romantic fest. It's romantic music at its finest. It starts with a beautiful theme played by the French horn. It's so poignant that it virtually transports us into a different world. The piece builds in an unforgettable climax and leaves us with a peaceful resolution. The third movement is an elegant waltz. It's nostalgic and lyric and really charming. And then the finale, which brings the entire piece full circle, going from E minor in the beginning to now E major. It's amazing how much that one half step from G natural to G sharp, E minor to E major, can do in terms of mood. This last movement is furious and at times violent, and it's full of bombast, but it's also remarkably elegant and wonderfully melodious. The ending is a grand, triumphant march, bringing the piece to a magnificent and brilliant finish. Now below, you'll find some links to the music I just spoke about, and I wanted to mention that I've included 3 very different but appealing performances of the Tchaikovsky Fifth Symphony. And I did it for a reason. Since there's more than 70 recordings out of this piece, it was very difficult for me to choose just a piece of a performance that I love the most. So what I did was choose 3 very different performances. So in your leisure, maybe before the concert, you can get an idea of how the piece is interpreted in 3 different ways. My first link is with Eugene Normandy, one of my past teachers, who's conducting the Philadelphia Orchestra. This is a vintage recording that demonstrates the ultimate romantic style of orchestral playing. It's just full of wonderful, melodious, romantic playing, especially from the violins, all the strings actually, those fabulous Philadelphians, as RCA used to call them. Then there's the conductor Maurice Janssens, and he's conducting the Oslo Symphony in a more subtle, it's almost a classical style of performance. It's less bombastic and maybe more detailed, but nonetheless a different way of interpreting the piece. And finally, maybe the performance that's the closest to what Tchaikovsky actually would have heard in his lifetime in Russia is a performance by the great Russian conductor Mravinsky. And he's conducting the Leningrad, now it's the St. Petersburg Symphony Orchestra. Each one of these performances are fantastic in their own way, and they show how different conductors and orchestras can sound on the same piece, and of course, from 3 very different cultures. So we all look forward to seeing you on September 27th or 28th in the Civic Center for this wonderful opening season set of concerts we are appropriately calling Triumph. You won't want to miss these concerts. Once again, these are all once-in-a-lifetime pieces, and we look forward to seeing you all at the Symphony.